If you've ever been under night vision and you went to go drink from your Gatorade bottle, but you accidentally either grabbed your own or your buddy's spit bottle in a Gatorade bottle, hit that subscribe button, especially if you didn't realize it until it's too late. If you've ever drank from a spit bottle before, because let's be honest, Coke and spit look really similar when they're in a Coke bottle, I feel your pain. Like, comment, all that stuff helps me out quite a bit. Comment section's out of control. Let's keep it going. There are multiple ways to support me. Always get questions about that. So first off, we now have Vertex on board. So get a sweet plaid shirt. Vertex, discount code is Grantham, 25% off. That's kind of crazy. 3D Munitions, as always, a big sponsor of me. Go ahead and get in there with that discount code Grantham as well and get yourself some ammo. Of course, big shout out to my Patreon subscribers. You guys are a bunch of thoughts and I love you. Chest rigs. There is a lot that goes into chest rigs, and a lot of people have been asking me about different types of chest rigs. Now, I don't have experience with every chest rig out there. I thought I'd do a short video on why you might use one chest rig versus another based on kind of what you do and the type of setups that you're used to or that you need for your job. So realize that I am limited in what I know and what I do. I'm not a law enforcement officer, I'm military, so there might be some divergence between that and what my law enforcement guys need. And I'll try to bridge that gap as much as possible from my talks with law enforcement officers, but just understand that there's a knowledge gap there for me. So take that for what it's worth. For my civilian friends, just depending on what you need, some of the chest rigs that we're talking about might be more full-featured and have more things than you need, so you might need to kind of, again, tailor it. Don't carry more crap than you need. So the first question is, why would you wear a chest rig instead of a plate carrier? Well, it doesn't always have to be either. Why not both? So sometimes people will wear chest rigs either attached to the plate carriers with like the Swift clip system or by some other means like Velcro or something like that, or they might wear a chest rig over a plate carrier or some type of body armor due to either constraints in budget for certain branches, Marine Corps, or for law enforcement officers it might be that you just need a chest rig, something to throw on to kind of get some more ammunition on you before you go into a dangerous situation. Lots of different reasons. For military, depending on what you do, it's probably not a great idea to go chest rig only. Just a thought. In any case, there are multiple different types of chest rigs out there. What we're not going to talk about today are bare chest rigs. So what I mean by that is there are chest rigs that are just MOLLE webbing. So we're not going to talk about those. There are some good ones out there from Grey Ghost Gear and Tactical Tailor and a couple others. But we're not going to get into those. I don't prefer them, only because the cost adds up really quickly and they typically weigh a little bit more because you have all the webbing on them. They're never quite as tight as a purpose-built chest rig. So the rigs that we're going to talk about today are going to be the Mayflower Gen 4, the Spiritus Systems rig, and my father's Haley Strategics company and their chest rig. So a couple different examples there. We're going to kind of get into why you might choose one or another. So we're going to start with the Mayflower rig / the Velocity Systems rig. So what's so good about the Mayflower rig is that you have a lot of pockets and enclosures to deal with. So you have a lot of gear that you can store on there. Now that can be good or bad depending on kind of the type of person that you are. A lot of people tend to put too much crap on their Mayflower rig. So don't do that. Let's go over a quick overview of what's in here. So first off, you have 4 magazine shingles in the back right here. Now, depending on how you want to do it, you can put 4 in or 3 in a knife or whatever. So right here, I just have mine set up as an example. I have 3 magazines with a knife in there. They are a little tighter. They typically don't accept Kydex inserts quite as well. The one kind of downfall of the Mayflower rig is that they seem to have been designed around USGI mags, which isn't bad. Those are great mags, but if you're trying to use like larger mags such as say Magpols or something like that, Magpul mags, they're not going to fit very well. They typically get caught up, especially on re-indexing and stuff. So that's the one thing I don't like about the Mayflower rig. Now what is nice about it is that these outer pockets right here are large enough to fit a 152 or a Prick 148 or something like that. So that's pretty helpful. They can also fit other things. Got your grenade right here, a little smoke grenade. Point is that they can fit a lot. So if you're the type of guy who likes to run your radio directly on your rig, maybe not on your belt or something like that, this is a really good option for you. It also includes these handy little rerouting straps for the antenna. If you choose to run the antenna up front, or for wire management and all that type of stuff. So it's been really helpful in my experience. Now, if you'll notice on the particular strap on this chest rig right here, I have my Garmin Vortex 401 and a Suunto wrist compass right here. Now, I don't keep them mounted right there. I just keep them on this rig. That way, that when I put this rig on, I can pop them off and put them on my wrist and that type of thing. But that's where I keep them. A couple other things about this rig. Right next to the radio pouch, you have an accessory pouch right here. I like to keep chem sticks, that type of thing in there. Again, they can fit a whole lot of crap. You have your front accessory pouches. So on these, I typically keep things like either, let's say, a static compass, or you can fit a GPS in there. Whoops. Or you can fit a GPS in there. Lots of different things. Front pistol magazine pouches. Don't carry pistol mags in there. I typically carry flashlight, Leatherman, that type of stuff. Over here, headlamp on my other pouch. Then moving across, again, more chem sticks, and then typically keep a small med kit / signal mirror or that type of stuff right here. Now, if you notice, in addition to all that, I also have a dangler type thing. This one is from Haley Strategic. Lots of different companies you can buy these from. You also have Faro Concepts that does one that's very well made as well. And as does Spiritus Systems, they make one as well. But in this case, I have the Haley Strategic dangler on my Mayflower rig, kind of mixing those together. On this, I typically carry a larger med kit. That way it's just up front. It's easy for me to get to and that type of stuff. Now, the one thing I really like about the Mayflower rig is the H harness. Now, there's a lot of different harnesses out there. And kind of which one you prefer is going to be due to kind of how you're built as a person and that type of stuff. For me, kind of Gumby built, these H harnesses work really well. The X harnesses tend to ride up on my body, especially with body armor on. So I do prefer the H harness. It's really well made. Now, the problem with these is that they do have a tendency to ride up under the armpits and maybe kind of irritate the skin a little bit there. There's no perfect system out there, but I've gotten used to it over time, and I find that this works pretty well. Now, a quick note too is that you can easily detach the H harness, so I do it right now, and you can attach this to a plate carrier or to whatever you need to attach it to. So, the beauty of the Mayflower Swift Clip system. So anyhow, that is our Mayflower Gen 4. So kind of quick summary on that. Lots of real estate to put things. Magazine pouches are a little small for Magpul mags. They work best with USGI, and a little small for most Kydex inserts, such as the Haley Strategic MP2 magazine insert or the S-Tech Kiwis. Is it a big deal? No, but some people it might be a deal breaker. In any case, that's that. So scaling down from larger down to the Haley Strategic chest rig, you get a little bit less real estate, a little bit less stuff to deal with, and that may be good. You might not need to carry as much crap as the Mayflower rig does. So in that case, I think that the Haley Strategic rig is a really good option. Now, there are several iterations of this. You have the version for 5.56, which is these both right here. This is the older gen, this is the newer gen, and you also have the heavy version, which is made for 7.62 mags. So depending on what you're rocking out there, you might choose one or the other. Now, it should be noted that with the heavy rig, you can still put in the MP2 magazine inserts, and then it can still run 5.56, depending if you prefer that pouch setup anymore. So let's talk about the old setup really quick on the Haley Strategic rig, and then we'll talk about the new setup. So first off, the older ones came with the H harness, which is what I prefer. The newer ones come with the X harness, which doesn't really work as well on my body. Now, that being said, they're very well made. So if the X harness does work for you, it's probably going to be really good for you. I think that there are a lot of advantages to the X harness. It's just, for me, not such a great thing. Anyhow, on the older rig, they had a stuff-it pouch. That's kind of the main difference between the two. Stuff-it pouch allows you to put a bunch of weird crap in there if you needed a water bottle, grenade, keep a little bit more heat and that type of thing. So it was a cool little item. Ultimately, they removed it, and I can see why. My whole point with this is that if you had the older rig or you have a chance to buy one, they're not bad. They're still good. There was just some changes made that made a lot of sense. In any case, they still fit the MP2 magazine inserts, as you can see right here, so you can easily index your mags and that type of stuff. Now, if you're running airborne ops, you probably want to have bungees over that and that type of thing, but I'm not going to get into that. Anyhow, with the newer one, that stuff-it pouch was removed, and you just have the pistol mag pouches come all the way across. Now with these, what's good about these, you can fit 40mm grenades in there, you can fit pistol mags, Leathermans, all that kind of stuff. That's good. So what I typically carry in there are a combination of Leathermans and other kind of quick go-to tools I need to get to. And these can fit quite a lot. They have a lot of stretch to them, a lot of give, and they work really well. These two side pouches right here work really well for holding GPSs, that type of stuff. Again, I like the way that they have this chest rig set up. As well, I typically run the Haley Strategic little dangler off there when I'm using this rig right here. It's just, at the moment, it's attached to my Mayflower rig. What's really good about the Haley Strategic rig was Travis Haley was really focused on making sure that it was easy to re-index your mags and draw magazines and that type of stuff. So there's a little bit more space between each of those magazine pouches. So what's good about that is you can fit a whole variety of different magazines in there. I've never had problems with different magazine types fitting in there. What's also good is that with those MP2 inserts, which is just basically a little plastic sheath in there that helps lock the magazine into place when you insert them, it makes drawing and then re-indexing those mags really, really easy. I'm a big fan of that. Now, if you're running like a 152, these magazine pouches don't really fit the 152 very well at all, / they don't. Now, if you're running a smaller radio, such as one of those Chinese radios or something like that, or a Motorola or whatever, that's going to fit fine. So again, it comes down to where do you like to run your radio? If you're a 152 guy on the chest rig, it's probably not going to work for you. If you're running like a smaller radio, Motorola, whatever, no problem. If you're running off the belt, this doesn't matter at all. It comes down to philosophy of chest rig usage, right? So that's the kind of stuff that's going to matter. In any case, you can't go wrong with the Haley Strategic rig. Really well built. Big fan of it. Used it quite a bit. So good stuff right here. Now this one, if you notice, is made out of M81. They make them a multicam and coyote and green and black and all that kind of stuff. But in any case, find one that rocks, that suits your fancy, and that allows you to LARP as your favorite operator and go from there. Finally, we're going to talk about possibly one of the coolest ones out here, which is the Spiritus Systems rig. What's really cool about this is that you're not dealing with PALS webbing because this is user configurable. You can add and subtract and put whatever you want in here. It uses Velcro. Now, I was a little skeptical at first when I first got this, but this is quite possibly one of the lightest and best built rigs out there if you're looking for something that's user configurable. So in this case, on my rig, I have the 3 shingle for the AR-15 mags, and then I have a small admin pouch up front to carry things like GPS and other crap in there. Within that front pouch, I also have little elastic bands that allows me to keep those items from bouncing around, that type of thing. It's a really well thought out rig, and you can easily scale it up or down depending on what you need. This also includes a little dangler pouch, and again, in that I typically keep med supplies and that type of thing. This one's in wolf gray. Not my first choice, but beggars aren't choosers. They also come in multicam, black, coyote, all that kind of stuff. So again, find one that allows you to LARP as your favorite dude. But again, user configurable, and I can't recommend this rig enough. Again, you're scaling down. From the Mayflower rig, you have a whole lot of stuff that you can put on there. Moving down to the Haley Strategic rig, kind of getting a little more bare bones, a little more minimalistic, and all the way down to the Spiritus System rigs, which is about as small as I'll go with a chest rig. And hell, it's barely more than like a AR-15 magazine pouch placard. But again, they did design this really well, and you'll be hard-pressed to find a better user-configurable chest rig out there over the Spiritus Systems. So guys, I hope you enjoyed our little talk about tactical chest rigs and all that type of stuff. Everybody's going to be a little bit different. Again, find something that looks good, that looks cool, and allows you to LARP as your favorite dude. And no matter what, get training, because you don't look cool if you have no idea what you're doing. It's a fact.